There's outrage in a Missouri community over the shooting death of an unarmed teenager by a police officer. A vigil last night quickly turned violent. The incident is reminding many of the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. Here again is Lindsay Duncombe.
Hands up, don't shoot.
Another young black man killed by a police officer. Another community in grief. And last night, that grief gave way to rage. 32 people were arrested in Ferguson, Missouri, after a peaceful vigil turned into a riot with broken windows, looting, and gunfire.
Our helicopter got shot at least once, we think probably 2 or 3 times, and there was probably many other police officers who were shot at.
It started with the shooting death of Michael Brown. Today would have been the 18-year-old's first day of college. For some reason, he got into a struggle with the police officer on Saturday and ended up in the back of a cruiser, where police say there was a fight for the officer's gun and that Brown assaulted the officer. Witnesses didn't see it that way.
He's running this way. He turns his body towards this way, hands in the air, being compliant. He gets shot in his face and chest.
Police haven't given specifics, but say Brown was shot several times. The officer involved hasn't been identified and is on paid leave. The FBI are now investigating.
We are not focused on revenge. We are focused on trust, truth, and justice.
For Brown's mother, unimaginable grief.
You took my son away from me. You know how hard it was for me to get him to stay in school and graduate? You know how many black men graduate? Not many. Because you bring them down to this type of level where they feel like I don't got nothing to live for anyway.
They expect, they demand, and they will not shut up until they get the truth, because they knew who their son was.
The family has hired the same lawyer who represented Trayvon Martin's family, the unarmed teenager shot and killed by a neighborhood watch volunteer in 2012. The shooter was acquitted.
No justice, no peace.
That case prompted many, including the president, to comment on the tough reality for young black men and prompted widespread calls for improved race relations.
There are very few African-American men in this country who haven't had the experience of being followed when they were shopping in a department store. That includes me.
Those calls are sure to echo again as more peaceful protests are planned for Ferguson. Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Washington.